Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You got your boys here, the Dividend Diplomats. I have some potential portfolio cleanup that I could be looking to do in my wife's portfolio. Part of it is getting rid of some old positions. Part of it is taking advantage of a run on a current stock. Everybody, in today's video, we're going to discuss the companies we're looking to potentially sell, how much money there is to be had, and what is the overall impact on our dividend income.
Guys, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. Today's doing it is all about a deep dive on Bert's portfolio, really his wife's account here.
Mhm.
He's looking at two high dividend yielding stock positions, even close and over 5% yielders, as well as a certain stock that has ballooned at about 40 to 50% in the last few weeks, guys. About maybe there's some exit strategy at play here. When you exit a stock, aka sell a stock, or maybe your calls get assigned from a covered call, it's more of like, what is your next step? What's your plan with the capital? It's
Yeah.
always good to have the next step planned out.
Yep, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So let's first start with the stocks that we want to talk about that aren't subject to the covered call. I've been looking to cut positions that are around $1,000 or less, positions that we're not necessarily looking to add to. We're not going to keep growing. They're just kind of there. We didn't build them up enough when we started investing and we moved on. And now we're stuck with these positions that are just hanging out, producing income. These two companies are at least high yielding stocks. So at least if you're going to sit around and wait, Lanny, you're going to get some nice dividends that are going to come from them.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. So you got
That's
two stocks that are high dividend yielding. You want to cover the first one and then
yeah.
go into the second one too?
Yeah, we'll just rip through these quickly. The first one is Provident Financial, ticker symbol PFS. I know you've talked about this one here, Lanny. It's a bank that struggled. It's rebounded lately. And we only have 46 shares of it at about, so our market value is just over $900. Again, not looking to buy more. So this one is $900 that could be better spent elsewhere. We currently are down 9% overall on it. So we're sitting at a net loss about $91. PFS has a yield of 4.9%, Lanny. So their dividend is $44 that's getting produced. So that's stock number one in the banking sector.
But there's two high yielding stocks here. What's the second high dividend stock that you have here?
Oil, Total, ticker symbol TTE. We basically own every single big oil. It feels like one way or another. We have Exxon, Chevron, Shell, BP, Total, and then you have your pipeline ones too. It's just a lot. Our Total position, we only have 20 shares with a market value of $1,263. This one we're up 25% though, at least. So we're up $250 ish or so. So that's good.
Taxable or retirement account?
This one's taxable though. So there are some tax annoyances that come along with this one since they're a foreign company. But our annual dividend is $73.40 from them. They have a high yield at 5.81%. So that's why these two companies put them together. It's $2,100, income of $117 at a blended yield of 5.4%.
Yeah. Wow. But interesting. So that's too high yielding. I know Total, I think over time, the dividend has grown over time, even though they're a foreign company. So it's always hard with the translation there.
Yeah.
But there's another stock at play here, a stock that you have a covered call written on 100 shares of a certain stock. Again, we teased it a little bit. It's gone up 40 to 50% the last couple of weeks.
Intel, ticker symbol ITC. We had strike prices for calls at $35 that were expiring. We rolled them again one more week. We closed out the position and rolled it when it was above $35 to end the week, pick up some premium. The new strike price is $37. So we'll see if it's going to hit 37 here. I think Friday the 3rd, is it?
It is.
On Friday the 3rd. If it hits $37, we will have $3,700 of market value to add into this. And our net loss on Intel overall would only be $640 or 15%. That income is $0. So that's why this move, selling these two stocks, would make sense, Lanny. Because this would make sense when you pair a 5.4% blended yield with a massive 0% yielding position to help balance out the average yield, to help sell it and move all of your collective cash potentially together into a new position or another current position. That's really how this would work.
Yeah. So, guys, in total here, if all three happen this week here, again, exiting the month of September, entering the month of October, he would get just under $5,900 of value,
Yeah.
have even a small long-term capital loss to take on the tax return. And then he would lose about $118 in dividend income at a yield of just about 2%. So keep 2%, $118 in dividends in mind. Not to mention, again, he'll have a little bit over $100 in tax benefits from a potential sale / assignment from all three.
Yeah, but again, like you mentioned early on, it's one thing just to sell, but you need the plan of what you're going to do with the funds. You need a plan of where are you going to invest this money? What are you going to do to grow your
It's
stock?
monies.
Yeah, right now, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Here's some options for what we're going to do. This is in my wife's account. This is where we buy SCHD every single week. We buy those 30 shares of SCHD every single week. So option numero one, Lanny, put that $5,900 into SCHD. If we did that, we would add another 215 shares to our SCHD position. That would add another $222 at that yield of 3.8%. And this option would pick up $104 of dividend income above that blended yield of 2% for the stocks that I would be selling.
Almost doubling the dividend by just moving right into Schwab's SCHD. Again, if you haven't caught our videos from Saturday and Sunday, see how much SCHD paid us in Q3 on the divvy front, as well as SCHD compared to 4 other ETFs on the Q3 dividends. So, Bert, yeah, jumping right into SCHD. You already have it in the account, and then you juice up the dividend in the future, that future passive income by another $222.
Yeah, so there are two other options that I see here. One, talk about the flavor of the month of everybody, it seems like from the investing standpoint. Fidelity's High Yield Fund 2, the competitor to SCHD and VYM, ticker symbol FDVV. It's got a little bit more of a tech flavor, but it also has a higher yield of 3%. If I were to invest in this one and start that new position, Lanny, it would give me $5,900 right out of the gate to put into this fund. Start out with 100 shares at its price of $55.63. Since that yield is only 3.09%, the income is only $181. So we're picking up $63 of income, but obviously, again, not as much as you would see with SCHD.
It would be a new position, but still adding a $64, punch to the forward income, guys. Not too bad. Very good ETFs, been strong this year, especially on the dividend growth front. 25% year to date, actually.
Yeah, it's a great stock. The last one is to make it less focused on dividends, just more focused on the broader market and start a VOO position in this portfolio here. That would get me nearly 10 shares of VOO at 9.62 at its current price of 610, $67.70 of income. So this one would lose $50 of dividend income overall from the picture, but it gets you the broader market exposure, which should have better long-term gains than what you're seeing with PFS, Total, and Intel combined.
And, usually these ETFs, SCHD and FDVV, VOO, usually over the long term will outperform these guys.
Yeah.
But Bert, what are you thinking here? Do you already have VOO in her account, or would that be a
No,
new
it would be new on this one. So that's the thing. All these are going to be new.
except for SCHD?
Yes, you're right. SCHD, obviously, but that would be nice because it would. Interesting with SCHD is our journey barrel towards 100,000 shares of SCHD. I mean, not shares, $100,000 of SCHD. Yeah, this would give me quite the jump start into it. So who knows? But it also would help to diversify. So I see it both sides of it.
Yeah, one thing to check too, maybe Bert, even in maybe another video, possibly maybe this upcoming weekend, you can even do a fund overlap between these three to see hey, which one's a good complement to SCHD in the portfolio.
Yeah, especially FDVV. It's probably time. We've looked at them before. It's probably time for us to take an even deeper dive and compare them to VYM, SCHD. And let us know, people, if you'd like us to see that. If you'd like to see it.
Yeah, love it, Bert. Exiting possibly 3 stocks here, getting almost 6,000 in capital. And looks like you are simplifying the investment portfolio by not focusing on individual stocks where the dollars aren't warranted. Community, what would you do if you were Bert? Sitting on $6 grand, 3 tickers here, sitting at a net unrealized long-term capital loss, would you take more income, SCHD, FDVV, or take a kind of step back from the income but go for more long-term growth? Let
If
us
you're
know.
not, yeah, if you haven't already, everybody subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. And remember, you're either with us or you're against us, Jack.
That was Bert and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.